that number one, the Israelis stop the fighting and that they withdraw the troops from the Palestinian areas, and then they let the Palestinians lose themselves. They pay the taxes that they collect Palestinian citizens, because they say it is the American weapons that is used against the Palestinians that have been used during this war and in the previous wars as well. The DNC, the convention is called, is starting next week in Chicago. As you know, that both parties, the Republicans and the Democrats, hold their national conventions a few months before the elections. And at that convention, both parties select their official candidate. Although in most cases, the candidates are finalized before the convention, but it is at the convention that the party formally chooses a candidate and declares that person the official candidate of the party. As you know, that the Republicans have already done that. They held a convention in Milwaukee last month, and they selected, or rather elected, Donald Trump, who is now their official candidate. And the Democrats are going to do the same this week, the coming week. As you know, that President Joe Biden was supposedly their official candidate, because the tradition in America is that when a president completes his first term, then he is assumed to be the official candidate for the second term as well. It was assumed that Biden will be the Democratic candidate for the 2024 election as well, but because of his age, a lot of questions were raised about his health, his mental fitness, and ultimately the party persuaded him to withdraw. And while withdrawing, he announced that his Vice President Kamala Harris will be the next candidate. Democratic delegates also elected Kamala Harris as a candidate, which now will be formalized at this convention. So this is the background. What do I expect? I don't know. It's very, very difficult to say, because apparently all these conventions go smoothly and the party elects someone as their official candidate, and then everybody in the party and all the party supporters support that candidate. All members of Congress, the members of the Senate, other party officials then start campaigning for that candidate across the United States. Then after the convention, that person becomes the official candidate of the party, and therefore all other disputes that arises during the campaign for the election of the candidate, all those disputes are set aside. Everybody unanimously supports that candidate. So that is what the party is expecting. But there have been instances in the past where there were differences over candidates that led to protests, sometimes violent protests, particularly in Chicago. It has happened twice before. So the police are expecting some trouble. And yesterday, the Chicago police chief warned the participants that yes, they are free to attend the convention. They welcome to hold protests and rallies in the streets of Chicago. But there should be no rioting, because if the rioting happens, then the police will take action. So the police have also dedicated certain streets for protest and asked the protest to not to go to other streets, not to disturb the traffic, not to create a law and order situation, because the police also fear that because of the uncertainty involved in Kamala Harris's selection, the lack of unity, the prolonged dispute over Biden's candidacy, all these things could lead to trouble. In the Pakistani audience, the most important thing that is going to happen in this convention is the march, what is called the March on DNC, March on the convention, or March or RNC, the Republican convention. They did march in Milwaukee too, and that was in favor of Palestine and Palestinians and against Israeli atrocities in Gaza. We drew 3,000 people and it went peacefully. But this time, the organizers of the march announced that they are expecting about 30,000 or more people to attend this march. The Democratic Party has more people compared to the Republicans who support Palestine and the Palestinian cause. So that's why they're expecting a large crowd. And some people say that this crowd could be much larger than 30,000. Some even are claiming that it could probably be the largest political demonstration in recent Chicago history, and they're expecting more than 100,000 people to attend. That is yet to be seen. I mean, how successfully they gather these people. But everybody agrees, even those who the march agree that it is going to be a large crowd. Well, number one, they're demanding that the U.S. government should pledge to support the Palestinian and their cause. The next government, whosoever it is, the Republican or the Democrats, and particularly they say they have high hopes from the Democrats, because most of the protesters are also supporters of the Democratic Party. They're saying that they expect the next Democratic government support the Palestinian cause, to support the demand for a two-nation theory that Washington has always pushed for, which is one state for the Jews and one state for the Palestinians. And the next government should put all its weight in favor of this two-state theory, and they should support the Palestinians in the sense that the United States would make sure that, number one, the Israelis stop the fighting, and that they withdraw the troops from the Palestinian areas, and then they let the Palestinians lose themselves. They pay the taxes that they collect Palestinian citizens. They return those taxes to, that they have, that the Israelis withholding the taxes that run into hundreds of millions of dollars. So they want Israel to return that money to the Palestinians, and they want international guarantee for the continuation of a Palestinian state. They also want the next U.S. government to stop providing military support to Israel, because they say it is the American weapons that is used against the Palestinians that have been used during this war and in the previous wars as well. So they say that American weapons are used for killing Palestinians. This practice should stop. America should stop arming Israel, and America should play a neutral role as a superpower that is sort of guaranteeing peace between Israel and Palestinians without supporting either party. That's a tall order. That's unlikely to happen. But even if they achieve a fraction of these demands, that will be a big achievement. And if the next government actually commits itself to the creation of the creation of a Palestinian state in that region, that will be a big achievement. If it succeeds in persuading Israel to stop its aggression against the Palestinians, that will be a big achievement. If it succeeds in if nothing else, at least in reducing U.S. military supplies to Israel, that will also go a long way in bringing peace to that region. I don't know whether it can be achieved or not, but what it is so far, what is clear is that there are going to be large protests and demonstrations on this issue during the convention. They are holding the protest every day of the 4-day convention. And the largest demonstration will be on the opening day, the 19th of August, and the ending day, the 22nd of August. And that those who are organizing these protests have been holding rallies and meetings in Chicago almost every weekend since October last year, when the war started.